YouTube? It's Blackwing 2040 back with another comic book review for you guys, and we are going to be continuing the Justice League of America reviews with Justice League of America Team History. Here's a good look of what the comic is. So pretty much the team gets a big change up, as you may notice by the cover. So the League, this is actually Green Arrow and Green Lantern's League that Black Canary has been talking about. So this new League consists of course, Hal Jordan, Green Arrow, Cyborg, Atom, Starfire, Donna Troy, Mon-El, Dick Grayson as Batman, and if you want to know who that big guy up top is, that is Kongorilla, and you also have Dr. Light right there in the middle. I had to zoom in for you guys to see her. So the story, like I said in the last story, the League was falling apart big time, like literally falling apart. And do we see the Justice League pick themselves back up in this series? In this volume? Well, let's find out, shall we? So our story begins with Vixen calling in active members of the Justice League, and turns out the only active members are Vixen herself, Plastic Man, Dr. Light, and Red Tornado. So only 4 people, and that's not much at all, which is kind of, I would say that's kind of sad. And with this happening, I would say I don't think you really need to continue the Justice League at this point. So what my point is, why call in all these members and you know there's only 4 people left and you want to continue the League? But hey, that's just how heroism works in the DC universe, right? So anyway, Dr. Light suggests I don't think there's really need for us to continue anymore, because look at us, we're not even in the right shape to do anything. If you look closely, let me zoom in. Dr. Light has a broken arm, and Vixen has a broken leg. Look at this. If you wonder how she got that, she had a run-in with one of the Justice League villains named Prometheus. And Plastic Man's body keeps deteriorating, like it keeps malfunctioning, if I should say. So it's hard for him to concentrate his power. So while they're in the meeting, Despero, the villain Despero, attacks them. This is Despero for those who don't know. He also has one of the members of the Justice League. Let me just say JLA just to save my breath. So he actually has one of the members from the JLA. Her name is Gypsy, and she was part of an old school Justice League team called Justice League Detroit, which had Vixen, Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, Commander Steel, and Vibe. So the League really didn't put up much of a fight against Despero anyway. And so Zatanna showed up just in time to help them, and the only reason why she came was because she needed assistance, because apparently the dead are rising. And by I mean the dead are rising, I'm talking about the Blackest Night. So with the Blackest Night happening, Zatanna suggests that they go to the Hall of Justice, because that's where they think most of the dead heroes and villains are spawning. Now, I don't know whose bright idea was this, but someone had the idea to house all the dead bodies of the Justice League, well, not all the dead bodies, but the dead bodies of the Justice League villains, and store them underneath the Hall of Justice. I don't know whose bright idea was that, but it was not smart at all. So as they enter, they get cornered by some of their former members of Justice League Detroit, one of them being Vibe. So for those who don't know what a Black Lantern ring does, what it does, it resurrects any dead hero or villain or team member from anywhere in the DC universe. It replays all their memories from their birth, from their entire life, to their hero days or villain days, until the day that they died. and then they rise up as a Black Lantern. So while they are searching to see where they could find some help, Dr. Light slips away from the team because she senses the power of the other Dr. Light, the villain Dr. Light, the Teen Titans villain Dr. Light. And so the team also had a run-in with Zatanna's father, Zatara, and this is Zatara. Pretty picture him as a male Zatanna and a great, strong, powerful magician. So Vixen, Red Tornado, Plastic Man leave while Zatanna deals with her father, and she actually tries to hold her own because pretty much her father taught her every single thing she needs to know about magic. And while they try to escape, they have a run-in with their old Justice League Detroit member, Steel. And let me tell you, Steel does not look happy at all. And the way how Black Lanterns work, they pretty much make the living people feel very guilty, if I may say. Yeah, pretty much, they make the others feel guilty. So they try to put up a fight against the Black Lanterns. Vibe was able to rip Red Tornado open in half, and almost no, not almost, he teared the heart out of Plastic Man, but he didn't die though, because Plastic Man's heart was also made of plastic. Ironic, right? Well, not ironic, what, coincidental? Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking for the image to show you guys of Steel. Here we are. This is Steel. I'm not talking about the Steel Superman, the one with the hammer. There was a hero from Justice League who's, think of him as like the Captain America of sorts. He doesn't have any powers. He's just a guy in a costume who knows a lot of fighting styles. So what the Black Lanterns do, they make the other, I know I said this already, they make the living people feel guilty for what they done, and they try to down talk them, and it kind of is helping. And Gypsy herself, she's scared for her life. Now Dr. Light found the villain Dr. Light as a Black Lantern, and here he is. Now here's a little thing about Dr. Light. I should have said this a little earlier. Dr. Light as a character, not as a villain, but he really is an evil monster. He's a rapist, he's a pedophile, he is probably the worst person you would ever be around with. I see why they toned his character down in Teen Titans, but here in the comics, he is a monster. He even threatened the hero Dr. Light, Camille. She threatened that he would kill her kids, which of course what a villain would do. And he was almost like rubbing his body against her. I should have said that. I don't know if I should have said this, but the guy is really a monster. So Kamio uses all her energy inside her and just blasts him into pieces, and she defeated him. And so you have Vixen, who's the only person to hold her own against Vibe and Steel. She was able to put them down, and then Zatanna showed up and said that, how many times do I need to watch my father die? Hinting that she defeated her Black Lantern father. And so the Blackest Night is over for them. And it was really, really horrifying to watch, because this is like my second time reading this book. So just tracing it back to see what really happens in the story, it will hit you. Like, you may not get it the first time, but once you read it like a second time, it will hit you hard. So now we're on to, let's move past the Blackest Night to the cleanup of, not the brightest day yet, but the cleanup of the Justice League. Wonder Woman runs into her old sister, Donna Troy, and Donna tells her that she doesn't want to continue the hero work anymore. And Wonder Woman convinces her, just join the Justice League. And what she decides to do, she says, okay, then I'll join the league. And the league, of course, consists. I showed you who was on the cover. Let me show you a better image, a better picture of who's who. And here we go. Well, technically, before I show you the image, Donna actually recruits Dick Grayson, who is currently Batman, to join the league, and he says, okay, what he already knew because Cyborg already told him. So, and then Cyborg decides to join the league, as well as Starfire. And you know how Dick Grayson and Starfire don't get along with each other perfectly at all. And you also have Mon-El, who's a friend of Superman, and decides to join the league as well. So this isn't what I wouldn't say this is a perfect league, because again, the league is falling apart. Again, the league is falling apart again because they can't hold their members together, and you have a group of people from Apocalypse, Dr. Impossible, who the last time we spoke about him was in the Tornado's Path. He and his cohorts are trying to resurrect Darkseid because the heroes of Earth were able to defeat Darkseid in the Final Crisis. So they're trying to find a way to resurrect him. But, of course, Red Tornado, who's disassembled in pieces, well, his body is disassembled, but his head is still functioning. He was able to force the villains out of the Watchtower, and Green Arrow also came to his safety. And then after they defeated the villains, Green Arrow left the team and said, Green Arrow said, I need to take care of something first. And let's just say Oliver does something he really, really regrets doing. During the Cry for Justice storyline, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, Prometheus cut off Roy Harper's arm, and so in retaliation, Green Arrow kills Prometheus, and then after that, Black Canary has a divorce because they got married, and now after his retaliation for killing Prometheus, she broke up with Oliver, and they are officially divorced. So I forgot to mention the new members of the team, who are Starman and Con-Gorilla. This is Starman. Starman is a gay superhero. I don't know his origin. I probably will explain his origin in the next video. Con-Gorilla, he is a not like Gorilla Grodd, but he's like a heroic golden gorilla who has the power to change his height and size, and he has incredible strength. His origin story goes like this. His real name is Congo Bill, or just Starman just calls him Bill for short. He found a talisman that was able to transfer his mind into the body of a golden gorilla, and from then on, his mind has been stuck in there, and so he goes by the name Con-Gorilla. So after defeating the villains, Donna Troy offered Con-Gorilla and Starman a place on the league, and they said, why, certainly. And here's the picture of the new league. Let me back it up a bit. And Black Canary shows up only for a little bit, but she doesn't really join. And yet again, the league falls apart. Starfire immediately leaves because her and Dick don't really have a proper friendship, because you know they used to date, and we all know how their dating life turned out. So this Justice League isn't perfect, but hey, it is what it is. And that's pretty much the end of the story, because right here at the end of the story, it felt jumbled up again. So I hope you guys are enjoying these reviews. I'm just doing these reviews for fun, and just to give you guys a little bit of comic book knowledge, just like how I did with the Teen Titan reviews. So stay tuned for the next review, which will be Book 8, Justice League of America, Dark Things, which is a Brightest Day tie-in. And I'm really trying to get these books done so I can move on to the next review for you guys. I'm so excited. I'm pumped. So I hope you guys are enjoying these. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And in the comment section below, tell me who are your favorite Justice League members, because I know I said this before in my top 10 Justice League video, but tell me who are your favorite Justice League members. It could be, the list can be as many people as you want. There's no certain number, just as many people as you want. So until then, I am Vengeance, I am Darkness, I am Blackwing. Stay golden.